Miracles performed by Guru Raghavendra. Raghavendra Swami, 1595 to 1671, also known as Guru Raya and Rayaru, was an influential saint in Hinduism. He advocated Vaishnavism, worship of Vishnu, as the supreme god, and the Dvaita philosophy advocated by Madhvacharya. He is considered by his devotees to be a reincarnation of Prahlada. The devotee who was saved by Vishnu in his avatar is Narsimha. See Vaishnava theology. Sri Raghavendra Swami is said to have performed many miracles during his lifetime. The Raghavendra Mutt in the village Mantralay, previously known as Manchalay, established by Raghavendra under charter from the Nawab of Agoni in the 16th century, is visited by thousands of devotees every year. Raghavendra was also renowned as a musician and player of the veena. Some miracles. Chola king. During the life of Raghavendra Tirtha, Chola Mandala kingdom experienced political unrest. Internecine wars started and the king experienced hard times. The kingdom experienced plunder and accession, and a terrible famine followed. The king spent his money from his own coffers. But the famine did not abate. He approached Raghavendra Tirtha and prayed for his kind indulgence in the welfare of his subjects. The Swamiji readily consented and stayed at Tanjore for 12 years and came to the succor of the people and the king. The Swamiji with his miraculous powers was able to save the people. The king, who was all grateful, offered a jewel necklace to Swamiji, and the same was put by Swamiji in the fire of sacrifice, as the Swamiji was a great Viragi person of great renunciation. The king felt insulted when he saw his presentation thrown into fire. The Swamiji knew his king's disturbances in mind and prayed to Parasurama, the indweller of fire god, and showed his amazing powers by getting it back. The king realized that Raghavendra Swami was not an ordinary ascetic but the one who possessed divine powers. Mud becomes more precious than gold. Rayaru had a devoted disciple who was studying the Shastras under his tutelage. The education was over and time had come for the disciple to return home and marry. As the head of the Matha, Rayaru was expected to bless this disciple and give him some money so that he could start life as a householder. In this case, it was even more imperative since the disciple came from a very poor family. However, he chose to bid farewell when Rayaru was on the way to the river for his bath and did not have anything to give him. When Rayaru expressed this, the disciple immediately replied, "Even a handful of mud from you is even more precious than a gold full of gold." Rayaru was pleased with his devotion and accordingly scooped up a handful of mud from the ground and gave it to the disciple. The disciple received this with total reverence and tied it into a bundle. He then placed the bundle on his head and started back home. He traveled till night and reached a village, and decided to halt there that the night. He approached the chieftain and requested him to grant him a place to sleep for the night. The chieftain said, "You may sleep on the jugali of my house, a space just outside, but I have a problem. My wife is pregnant and is likely to deliver tonight. We have had extremely bad luck in the past because all our children have died immediately after birth. I am hoping that it is different this time." The disciple agreed and slept immediately outside the main entrance to the house with his precious bundle as a pillow. At night, a dark and ferocious ghoul approached the house. This was the one that was killing all the children immediately after birth. This time, it had to cross the disciple to enter the house, but could not do so since the bundle under his head appeared like a wall of fire to it. It tried several times in vain and finally woke up the disciple. It told him, "Your bundle contains a divine fire that is impossible for me to transgress. Why don't you throw the bundle away? I will give you heaps of money. gold and precious jewels. The disciple pretended to agree, but quickly withdrew some consecrated mud from the bundle and threw it on the ghoul. The effect of this action was spectacular. The ghoul screamed loudly and was immediately burned to ashes. The noise woke up everybody in the house and they came outside the house. The disciple explained everything to them. At the same time, the midwife came out of the house with the good news that the chieftain's wife had delivered a healthy boy. The chieftain was ecstatic and hugged the disciple with joy. He attributed his good fortune to the advent of the disciple and thanked him profusely. The next day, he requested the disciple to stay back in the village and even offered his sister's hand in marriage along with a lot of wealth. The disciple gladly accepted this generous offer and lived happily. Thus, a handful of mud from Rayaru brought the disciple wealth, a good wife, powerful connections and lifelong happiness. Dry wood sprouts leaves. Once when Rayaru was traveling, he passed through a village where an atheist headman was harassing all Brahmins. This atheist did not believe in God, mantras or Vedas. Rayaru decided to bring him on the right track and so stayed in the local temple and announced a grand puja. The headman immediately challenged him to a confrontation and asked him to prove the efficacy of the Veda mantras. He produced a vanike, a dry and hard piece of dead wood, used to pound grain in a pestle, and asked Rayaru to make it sprout leaves. The Brahmins present there protested, saying that this was impossible and against the laws of nature. Rayaru calmed them down, saying that Mullah Rama knows how to protect the laws of nature and how to overcome them when the occasion demands. He chanted Veda mantras and sprinkled water from his Kamandala on the vanike. Within a short time, the vanike sprouted fresh green leaves, vindicating Rayaru's words. The headman saw the error of his ways and surrendered at Rayaru's feet. Shri Vedindra Tirtharu. Shri Raghavendra Swami desired a Brindavanam to be made for him, and Diwan Venkana got one made. But the Swamiji ordered it to be reserved for a future pontiff that would come to the pontificate. He asked Diwan Venkana to use the stone at Madhvaram fields for making a Brindavanam to him, as the stone had been hallowed by a touch of Sri Ramachandra, who had sat on it searching Sri Sita Mata. This we see even today as Mula Brindavanam at Mantralay. Adjacent to the Mula Vrindavan we see another Vrindavan, the Brindavanam of Shri Vedintirtharu, a great-grandson of Shri Rayaru, fifth descendant after Shri Rayaru in the pontificate. He belongs to 18th century. He was a great scholar and was as ardent devotee of his great-grandfather Shri Rayaru. His Guruguna Stavana, of 36 verses composed in Sanskrit, is a masterpiece composition, and he sang it near the Vrindavan. The whole Mula Vrindavan nodded in appreciation of the scholastic work. Shri Rayaru had been immensely pleased. Shri Rayaru has given a special place of recognition to Shri Vedindraru by keeping him by his side. Devotees worship Shri Vedindraru also as they offer prediction, going in circles, simultaneously. When they go to round the Mula Vrindavana, Shri Vijayadasaru, great devotee of Dasapantha, opines that Shri Vedindra Tirtharu is the incarnation of Devaguru Shri Brihaspati Acharya, and Shri Vedindra Tirtharu functions are as the minister, almost a PA to the Swamiji in the Vrindavana. Blessed is Shri Vedindraru. He was just a boy of about 2 years when Shri Rayaru entered Vrindavana. But Shri Rayaru knew his capabilities and earmarked a special position of favor to him in the years to come. Shri Vijayadasaru. Shri Vijayadasaru is another great devotee of Shri Hari, who appeared in our religious history much later. Born in poverty, bred in poverty, he was personified poverty, begging every meal. But he was sage, Bhrigu Maharshi, incarnated now, Bhrigu Maharshi had established the supremacy of Lord Vishnu when he was commissioned by an assembly of rishis to report who was the greatest god of gods. One of the pontiffs in the lineage of descendants of Sri Rayaru, Sri Vasudhendra Tirtharu, was Vijaya Dasa's contemporary. Dasa movement, which had declined, was revived by Vijaya Dasa. He was inspired by Sri Raghavendra Swamiji to effect the revival, and the Moola Vrindavan at Mantralaya was his source of inspiration. He eulogized Sri Rayaru as a great Bhagavatottama and sung the glory of Sri Rayaru by intuition, which is being experienced now. Vijaya Dasa disclosed the extraordinary powers of Moola Vrindavana and the greatness of Sri Rayaru ever present therein. Sri Jagannatha Disiru. Jagannatha Disiru is another celebrated Hari Disiru who has spread the name and fame of Sri Rayaru in 18th century. Jagannatha Disiru went by the name Srinivasacharya, a profound scholar, but a vain Pandit. He offended Vijayadasa only to be blessed by him to get a further lease on his longevity. His life had come to an end, and Vijayadasa caused him a transfer of 40 years of life from the life of his disciple Gopal Dasa. Sri Hari Kathamritasara is a magnum opus and encyclopedia of the doctrine of Sri Madhva, all in vernacular Kannada, the common man's understandable language. It is said that he was no other than the younger brother of Prince Prahalada, who could talk to Sri Rayaru in his Vrindavana. He has sung the glory of Sri Rayaru and his grace to the multitudes. Sir Thomas Munro. The English had come to trade in Bharat, India, and they held a sway through their East India Company. Sir Thomas Munro was one of their officers, who was asked to resume Mantralaya, an endowment village granted to maintain the mutt and temple at Mantralaya. He came on his duty to resume. He was a noble soul. Sri Rayaru emerged from the Vrindavan and convinced him about the irrevocability of the endowment and disappeared into the Vrindavan, giving him Mantrakshit. Sri Rayaru was visible to Mr. Munro only and not to others. This episode is recorded in the Madras Gazetteer in the first quarter of 19th century, copy of which can be pursued even today in the records at the Collectorate at Anantapur. Such is the greatness of Sri Raghavendra Tirtha Swamiji, and words fail to describe his greatness. A follower of another religion had the good fortune of being blessed by Sri Rayaru.